Hi everyone, it's your favourite half Brit, half Arab dude here, making a video asking you guys basically for a little bit of help. This is a video for all my friends, family, neighbours, colleagues, ex-colleagues, people I don't like, everyone get involved, asking you for your help, something that's very dear and very important to me. Maybe I should explain.
That there is what you call a naive idiot. Thought I'd do something cutesy for my mother and my sister to show, love and support. And I thought, a marathon, no big deal, 4 or 5 months, and then a long marathon. I'm sure it'd be difficult, but it'd be alright. What's 4 or 5 months of your life then? Obviously, it didn't go to plan, as nothing ever does in my life, and instead it turned into a 3-year personal battle ordeal. Here's a story of my first marathon, London 2022. As most of you are probably aware by now, I have an incredibly brave and amazing mother and sister who suffer with MS, multiple sclerosis, or should I say live with MS as opposed to suffer, but it is a disease that they have, and I decided I wanted to do something, to show support, something that would actually make me uncomfortable and be quite challenging, because I really don't like running. As a young man, I was very much a footballer, into explosive kind of sports. As I've got older, I'm kind of more into things like mixed martial arts and stuff like that, but like long endurance like biking or swimming or running is really somewhere where I'm uncomfortable, and I just don't like doing it. So that was the idea. I thought, it'd be great to raise some money, show some support, show some love. But of course, I signed up for the 2020 marathon, started training end of 2019, trained all the way up until about, I think it was like March 2nd or 3rd or whatever, when they cancelled it, when the world, of course, collapsed. So after 5 months of really quite grueling training, and I was ready for the marathon, of course, it didn't happen. They then moved it to October of 2020, thinking that the world would, be fine and reopen or whatever. So I started training again in June, July of 2020, but not for very long, if I'm honest, only for about 3 weeks-ish. And then they quickly announced that it would be cancelled that year, and you could do the virtual one, which I was really not interested in doing. From there, I moved it to the London Marathon 2021, which was going to be early October. The problem with that time is I trained for about, I'd say maybe 2 months in. I started training around about June of 2020, maybe May, July, that kind of the early summer of 2021. But unfortunately, due to my own personal visa issues here in America, I was waiting for my what's called a travel document, and therefore couldn't leave the country. So I had to risk maybe waiting all the way to October, hoping that my travel document would turn up, so that I could travel, because without it, once I travel out of the country, I couldn't come back in. So I decided early on, probably around about July, that I would defer it to 2022. Roll on 2022, 4th time now training for this. I started training in July. On top of all of this, of course, work, life, personal, family stuff going on. It was a little bit tricky, not to mention the Florida summer, because I'm now living in Florida. So June, July, August, September, that was really, really quite tricky. But after months of training, I was as ready as I could be. So after 4 attempts, 3 years, and according to my running app, and I swear to God this is true, after 518 miles of running and training, I think it's safe to say that I left it all behind. Cue the motivational running segment. Take on, Fen lad. Go on, Fen lad. And then that was it. And the final piece of the puzzle was about a week before the marathon. My MS orange with my name vest turned up, and it's safe to say I was pretty excited when it turned up.
Go on, Fen lad. I'll be right back. Easy work, mate. Easy work.
And that was it. I was ready, fully equipped, ready to rock and roll, ready to get on the plane. Nothing's going to stop me now.
Right now, breaking news on News Channel 8.
Hurricane Ian growing more powerful right now.
Florida under a state of emergency this hour as Tropical Storm Ian gains strength.
155-mile-per-hour winds.
Ian's hurricane-force winds and record storm surge is dangerous.
The legacy of this system, where obviously the wind is a big deal, we could see an additional anywhere from 15 to 24 inches of rain.
You're kidding me.
But we've already had 5 to 6 inches across a big swath of the area where it's
So finally, with some luck on my side, the airport reopened that same morning as I was supposed to be leaving that same evening, and we were off on our way to London. Last little bits, get to the London Marathon where you got to register, very exciting, get your bag, get your tracker, get your all that kind of stuff, meet some people, and boom, you're ready.
It's the morning of. It's finally here. And now I'm nervous. Alright, this is it. How do I look? I know, right? Pretty cool. Better get out there and do this. The only last thing I like to do, and I recommend this to anybody before you go running, is you should have a good running like regimen, like a good warm up. I like to do this. I'm knackered now, that's it.
I would say it's better than that.
Just last stretches before we go. Weather is perfect. No winds, no rain. It's about 16 degrees, which is about 60 Fahrenheit. Perfect. Super excited now. Can't wait to get going.
Natalia, Lisa, Rob is there, Adam, Nick, Will, Neil's there, thank you Neil. St. Albans Destroyer, all 5 of you, there we go.
Atmosphere is electric, electric.
Emma's here, Nick from Hospice UK, Megan, hello Megan, Sharon from DI.
Here we go.
Cat's there, Laura, Harky, Pete, Teenage Cancer Trust. Kenny, hello Kenny. Rob, looking good Rob, you keep going my friend. Ria, how you doing? That's it, give us a line, you've got a full game. Michael.
And just like that, I was running the marathon after 3 years of waiting. It was absolutely worth the wait. The atmosphere, the crowd, random people shouting your name, the runners, buzzing. It was absolutely buzzing. Everything I could have dreamt of, and even more. Thank you, guys. Random people putting massive speakers in front of their house, just blaring out music, all for us to keep us going and keep us motivated. Brilliant. Atmosphere is off the chain. Haven't finished the mile yet, but still feeling good. Thank you guys, thank you.
No worries.
Don't know if you guys caught that bit. That was a guy saying blind runner coming through. He had one of those wrist things that were connected, busting through. It was going to be the first of many inspirational things I was going to see that day. Can we please not mention as well the guy ran right past me and left me for dust? And so to be honest, mile 2, mile 3, mile 4, and mile 5 all went by a breeze. To be honest, I didn't even break a sweat. I was having so much fun, it just literally just flew by. And then at mile 6 I got a massive booster. My amazing sister, who had surprised me and flown all the way from Dubai, was at mile 6 at the MS cheering point, just to give me a massive cheer. And I hadn't seen her for a year, so that just added to all the emotions as well. And then from mile 6 onwards is when the party really started, and London properly brought its noise. And I can't even tell you, I mean, there's snippets for you to see the atmosphere, but you can't feel it unless you were there. It was incredible. And so again, from the unbelievable atmosphere and the energy that was in the air, mile 7, mile 8, mile 9, and mile 10 all pretty much went by without me even really realizing it. And just like I say, the energy it was going right through me. I didn't feel anything. But then mile 11 came. Legs start feeling a bit heavier, bit of a twitchy pain in the knee, bit of cramp in the calves. Breathing's getting a bit heavier. Oh yeah, that's right. Now the marathon started. So this is me around about mile 12, and you can see I'm not as confident, as comfortable as I was, and it's getting a little trickier, but I'm doing okay. One thing that was, well, one of many things that was really lovely and touching throughout the marathon was whenever we saw somebody wearing the MS Society, the orange gear, we all kind of gave each other just a little, go on mate, as you'll kind of see in this next clip.
Hold on, mate.
And so just when I was just starting to, suffer a little bit and feeling a little bit uncomfortable, came the famous halfway point at Tower Bridge. And if you thought the atmosphere was electric in those first miles, it went from level 1000 to level 10,000, because it's almost like the crowd knew at halfway point we needed that massive boost. And my God, did London deliver.
Can't describe the atmosphere. Unbelievable. London's alive. Halfway.
And so once we passed that halfway mark, that mile kind of 14, 15, I was really in a battle. And I was really starting to struggle. But luckily, once again, The crowd, even though it was much more difficult for me to really absorb it, they were still there giving it 110%.
Keeping us going. Dancing all the way to the end. Every single one of you are amazing.
So I battle my way to mile 16, pretty much shuffle across mile 17, and then at mile 18, bang! Not the wall, but a concrete slab. My legs pretty much completely stopped working, completely cramped up, completely locked up. At that point I started like chafing. At that point I started, the blisters were like getting like deeper and deeper. I could feel them in my shoes. I could feel a toenail start to come off, which wasn't good. I mean, mile 18 is where it all just went south.
Okay.
And then just when I was at my lowest at round about 19, my amazing sister and my beautiful fiance were there out of nowhere, just screaming, "Fan, fan." I quickly grabbed them, quick hug. I haven't got any footage of it, but it did really, really help me.
Just saw Kasia and Samia. Mile 19. That helped.
But not for long. The truth is, bless them, maybe they might have helped maybe half a mile at most. I don't even think that, maybe a third of a mile. And once again, I was walking, and the truth is, I was really, really now starting to struggle. And so, literally cried and crawled myself from mile 20 to 22. And from mile 22, the fun had stopped. I mean, I know you're thinking there's only 4 miles to go, but your body's completely failed at that point. Everything's hurting. Plus, you're kind of getting psyched out a little bit. I'm looking to my left. There's a guy with an oxygen mask with like paramedics. I go a few more meters. There's a girl twisted her ankle. It's all out here. Another guy, another 50 meters after that, fainted. You start psyching yourself out. You go, I'm going to be next. I'm the next one who's going to be on the side of the pavement getting some kind of some help.
Really starting to hurt now. Really, really kicking in.
What was I thinking? But I just kept going, 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other. Even if I have to crawl this thing, I just got to get to the finish line.
Struggling now. This is definitely the toughest thing I think I've ever done. This is really, really awful. But London is still going.
And then there was mile 24. When I saw the mile 24 mark, I'd made a decision in my head. As soon as I get to that mark, you know, as cheesy as it sounds, I have to somehow run these last 2 miles. Because it was important to me. I mean, I'd walked from mile 18 to basically mile 24. I'd basically walked. I'd done little bits of running here and there, but my body was just failing me. But I just thought to myself, these last 2 miles, I really, really, really focused in on my mother and my sister. And I know there's millions of people around the world suffering from MS and suffering from even way worse, but this is the one that's close to me. And so I really kind of zoomed in on them, and just how much, you know, I love and cherish them, and just how much I just want to show them that, you know, like, you know, I'm there, I'm with them, I'm on their side. And so the last 2 miles, as torturous as they were, I mean, I gave it everything I had, everything.
I see the finish line. Right here to show the grandkids.
Oh dear, I know. Sibling love. It's bloody fantastic, isn't it? So, there you have it. After 3 years, 4 attempts, 26 miles of running next to some of the funniest people, by the way. I mean, I ran alongside Big Bird. There was Big Ben, a princess, a Teletubby, Rocky Balboa was there, a human truck, a bloody rhino, and not to mention all the inspirational, amazing people there. But my favourite thing that has to do with the marathon has to be just, it really restored my faith in humanity. Everyone there that day had a story. Everybody was running for a cause. Everybody, I mean, there was, just emotional t-shirts of people that had passed away, like for mum and for dad, and just incredible. Not to mention the city of London, man. They talk about it like, being an unfriendly city, and I was never really a huge fan of London, to be honest with you, but let me tell you, they brought it big time, and without them, I don't think a lot of people could have finished the race. It was really, really inspirational, phenomenal stuff. Not to mention the millions and millions that's been raised for charity, and the thousands of people that all have a story like myself. I could not recommend doing a marathon more. And I understand a marathon for a lot of people is quite difficult, and I put it this way, like, if you're somebody, everyone has their level of marathon. So there's, there's 5Ks, there's 10Ks, there's half marathons, there's full marathons. My advice, if I could give any sort of kind of, inspiration over to somebody, if you're really, really overweight, like obese, go do a 5K. That's your marathon. You should do that. If you are somebody who is, bit overweight, kind of out of shape, but you're not kind of, you're doing just fine, then you should go do a 10K. That would be your kind of marathon. If you're a sporty person but not generally a runner, I would say half a marathon's the way to go. That's what I should have done. And if generally you're quite a sporty person, you're fairly comfortable running, then I think you should do a full marathon. Really challenge yourself is the point, is what I'm trying to say. And sometimes it's good to be uncomfortable. I'm of course going to be biased and say that London Marathon is the best one, but they say that you get the itch after you've done one. It's kind of true, but to be honest, I think I'd want to do the London one again. I know there's some brilliant ones like the Berlin, the Boston or whatever, but again, I don't have anything to to compare it to, but I think it'd be pretty difficult to beat the London Marathon. A last mention goes to all the people who donated to me. We raised almost £4,000, which for somebody who doesn't have any social media whatsoever, that's pretty astonishing, something I'm proud of. So again, this video is mainly, I made it for everybody, but this video is really mainly for you. So thank you so much for that. You know, some people I've never even met before, and that's really, really touching. But mostly, it was for my mum and my sister Samia. I love you guys. I bloody did it. Go on, fan lad. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.